How do you ladies build your confidence as a business owner?
I think confidence it's like a state of mind. Everybody individually has a way of manoeuvring themselves into that state of mind, but it's a really powerful state of mind. It can create impact, it can influence others. And so as a business owner, it's like, the ultimate is that you want to get to a place where you're confident to lead your team, to present things. And I think of confidence as a muscle. Over time, that muscle is always being constantly used, strengthened, flexed. And so I think confidence as a business owner just evolves over time, but you have to keep flexing it.
I think, to your point, confidence comes from experience, and it comes from all types of experience. And as business owners, we go through successful experiences, we go through failures, we go through challenges, and it's recognising that all of these experiences over time equals, our ability to build this confidence and flex that muscle.
I love Brené Brown has this quote where she says you can choose courage or you can choose confidence, but you can't sit in both. And it comes back to, that idea of it's something that you have to practice and actively choose. You're not just born with confidence and you're going to get up on stage and be confident and you can lead a team and you can do all these things without ever doubting yourself. You have to constantly, consciously sit in that courage.
Talking about building confidence, that it's knowing yourself and trusting yourself in that, rather than sometimes people say, I'll grab every opportunity. But if that's not right for you, you work out what is right for me. But it is about gradually building the confidence, stepping a little bit out of the comfort zone, but being very selective in it. Yeah. You're no good to anyone if your confidence is completely flat. So you're right, it is a real asset and it's something you protect but build in a way that's right for you.
I think the only way you can build that is by getting it wrong, by experiencing the failure. I think as business owners, we go into business because we bring a subject, matter, a subject area of expertise that we're good at, and that is our strength. That's why we build businesses around it. But inevitably, in every business, you're having to do a whole bunch of things that you've never done ever. Learning to do new things and finding out you're great at it, and learning to do new things and finding out that you're not. And in either case, being okay with that and being okay with asking for help, because it all comes back to, knowing yourself, knowing your gaps, knowing your strengths. And I think that all of that adds to your confidence. It doesn't mean having to be great at everything.
From a very young age, we teach girls to be perfect and we teach boys to be brave and resilient and risk-taking. Do you feel in your own experiences that there is a sense of I need to be perfect, I need to have this right all the time?
Absolutely. I think that's, coming back to confidence, that's one of the things that I had to learn, as I'm such a perfectionist, and for me it was all about waiting for that time when I felt absolutely ready, and then realising that I was actually never going to be perfectly ready. I was never going to have the perfect confidence. I was never going to have all of the knowledge I needed, and I just needed to take the step anyway. As a teacher, I noticed that in the classroom, that from a very young age, girls will wait till they've got the right answer, or they think they've got the right answer before they'll contribute, whereas often, and it's a stereotype, but it's largely true, the boys will just say, whatever's on their mind. And as a teacher, you have to be really conscious of encouraging almost the opposite behaviour.
I would say, though, interestingly, I think it's also that particular quality that makes women effective business owners, great investors, right? If you look at the stats, I think it is this slight, not reservation, but need to have the right amount of information before executing. And I think that could probably be linked to our, role as successful leaders.
And it comes back to, I think, also what you were saying about accepting who I am. It's not that there's a fault because I'm a female, but who I am has got real strengths. Like you said before, women may be quite thoughtful and therefore make a good business owner or investor. I think back to a time years ago when I was trying to fight a cause in a business I was working in, trying to get something changed, and I went to one of the general managers to talk to him about it, and I was so passionate and I had my arguments, and it was also a bit of an opportunity because I was a bit lower down at the time, and to actually get an audience with the general manager was a bit nerve-wracking. So I was putting my case forward, and at some point he said, I love the way you're blushing. And in hindsight, it took me a long time to realise that was really patronising to start off with. But I really was so frustrated with myself as why am I so, blushing and getting so passionate about it? But now when I look back, I think, well, I'm glad I was passionate. And it's the passion, I think, that I want to embrace, and so that's fantastic. And I've got that passion not to be embarrassed because I'm a female and I get a bit excited about something I think is important, but just to say, well, that's what drives me and that's what makes me make change happen.
How could you ever feel embarrassed when you've given something 100%? And I think that when you build your confidence, you know that your 100% is more than good enough, and what you receive back has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to think that successful people never felt fear, and that if I ever felt afraid or if I ever blushed, I can never be successful. And it was this ingrained view of the world. And then over time, I don't know the moment, but it was an incredible realisation that most people feel fear and feel afraid and lack confidence and blush and feel, in certain environments uncomfortable, and that's okay. Like that's part of it. It's actually that successful people feel it and feel the fear and do it anyway, which is one of my favourite kind of mantras that I live by, that it's, we all feel the fear and we all feel the nerves. You've just got to channel it for your passion and just keep going.